Oh, first of all, thank you very much for all of you being over here. I'm there from Netherlands. I work at APGI headquarters. I'm over there for some plenty of time, but although I'm not Dutch. I'm Italian slash Brazilian, so I'm from different parts of the world. I used to live in USA, then I used to live in UK, and now my destiny chose to send me to Netherlands, so I'm over there in the lowlands with a lot of cheese. And then I was quite pleased with the invitation to come over because this has been my first time over here in India. Although India was on my list to travel for a long time, and all the time I was saying to Mahatma, I really need to go to your country. And then suddenly the invitation would come, and then I couldn't refuse at all. I said, well, this is my time to go over there. And then I've tried to create the best content that I could for you to explain a bit better how is being the scenario of the international certifications related with the Agile, Scrum, and pass a background to you to guarantee that you have the right information about what's going on with the world, not only over here in India, but in general. Okay? So just a few seconds that they are finishing to adjust. Okay. So ready to go? So let's go. So basically, this is going to be our agenda in 30 minutes. Back to the beginning, where is Agile started. Later, what's going on with the world during that time, and what's going on with the population of the world and how this is related with the Agile, because there's important facts that's going to be correlated with the first keynote session that you had yesterday. It was funny because I never met the keynote speaker from yesterday. We never talked about our presentations, and suddenly I noticed that our presentations are quite connected, so it was really awesome to see that. And how Agile is being embraced for the other parts of the organizations, because usually nowadays we see a lot of IT guys, IT girls using, but Agile is not only at IT anymore. And how the organizations are going to pass through a makeover after the Agile mindset. So back to the beginning, I'm not going to extend myself much about this slide because this slide probably you saw a lot of times. Even if you type on Google or Wikipedia, you are going to see that this is the Agile Manifesto that was created over there in February of 2001. But since there, what was going on in the world during that time, in 2001? Everybody remember about the Windows XP? Everybody? Have you used it? Probably. DVD was created, it started to become popular during that time. Till now, we say to DVD, okay, we could use DVD, but nowadays, this is the current technology. No, probably you're going further for Blu-ray or something like that. iPod. iPhone, well, nobody's going to talk about iPhone during that time, but iPod was over there. Xbox, PlayStation 2. Nowadays, there is someone that plays PlayStation 2. I'm a bit old school. I would prefer the PlayStation 3 than the PlayStation 4 because of the games that is available, but well, this is my own preference, okay? But this, what was going on with the world during that time. But then, 16 years later, sorry, during that time, in 2001, 16 years, sorry, 17 years before, nowadays, that's not too much time. Do you think that 17 years is too much time? I don't think so. But Wi-Fi, can you live without Wi-Fi? Can you see yourself without internet connection all the time? But Wi-Fi wasn't available during that time. Notebooks, how many of you use notebooks on a daily basis? I think everybody uses. Almost part of you. Printed media, offline media was the most popular media over there. SMS, text, WhatsApp, forget about that. But SMS, and it was hugely expensive even to use SMS message. Which certifications were the popular certifications during that time? Microsoft Certified Professional. Not that it's not popular, even today, it is still. But if you had MCP from Microsoft during that time, you were really good in the market. CompTIA A+, CCNA, PMI, CMMI. But take a look. How many certifications are related with the technical? 3. 2 were more related with management, let's say, in general aspect, but only project and software development. But are you seeing some kind of certification related with the management of the information security, or people awareness, or how to manage people, leaders? Nothing was developed during that time, because the major concerns of organization and people were more related with the technical part. Although Agile Manifesto was created over there, but the attention was at Agile during that time, not much. So then, Agile certifications in 2001. Is there anyone certified in Agile or Scrum in 2001 that you know? I don't know anyone. If there is some certification, maybe one here or another there, but nothing compared of what it is nowadays. But later, organizations went further, and other certifications, not only related with professionals, but also for organizations, started to come up, such as ISO standards. All of you heard about ISO standards, correct? Could be related with quality, information security, service management, doesn't matter. All the bases of ISO standards, they start always with the organization, top management, then they start to develop controls that is going to drive organizations and people and process towards quality and KPIs, okay? Then this becomes massive in the market. A lot of organizations start to worry about that and said, well, we need to become certified in ISO. Probably a lot of organizations that you are working with, they are certified in ISO. But this impact directly the way that we work, definitely. Because before you start to code, before you go to implement, before you test, before you go to the live production stage, what you have to do, control over control over control over control over control over control. How much bureaucracy is inside an ISO standard? You can be honest with me. I used to be like a guy that used to implement a lot of ISOs inside organizations. Really. Sometimes I feel myself in pain with my customers because they say to me, well, this is too costly. And I say, definitely, it is. But then we used to argument this is the cost of the quality. That was our excuse. And I'm not lying. How many times I had to say, well, this is what it is. Just accept. Or you can decide not to go. Simple as it is. And then I2 came up covering the infrastructure plus the development part of the organizations with the service delivery and the service support. Yeah, back to the V2. Like I have to refresh a bit. And then what was the impact at the organization? Organization has to change. They had to adapt themselves. In the past, we used to have chief something, or we used to have the general manager, but not leader. We barely use the name leader. We used to rely on the top management to take the decisions. People below the top management couldn't take much decisions. Process must be established for every single thing that we had to do. Even if I decided to open a door, what it is a procedure to open the door, what it is a procedure to lock the door, what it is a procedure to code, what it is a procedure to go to the development, what it is a procedure for this. Guys, come on, like we just need to do one simple thing. But to do one simple thing, we had to get so many steps that was quite heavily. But do you think that was necessary during that time? Honestly speaking, I do believe that was necessary, because this influenced directly in terms of the maturity level of what we are right now. Because otherwise, without learn in the past, it was impossible to have this kind of freedom that we have nowadays, or to reduce a bit the number of controls that we have now. Because what it is normal for us today, it wasn't normal during that time. And we have to leverage, and we have to take advantage from that. But this is the current scenario of today. If I tell you that you have to follow 20 steps before go to the live production, probably are going to laugh on my face and say, are you insane? Really, this is pretty ridiculous. Probably. And then, what's happened with the organizations during that time? This used to be a normal scenario of an organization. What are you seeing over here? Some island, completely fully department driving, People are working together over here, they are more split. They are completely in their silos, let's say, or their own island. This used to be the way that we used to work 17 years ago. That was happening during the world. And Agile certifications. Maybe here or there, but nothing impressed. But then, 2011, an organization behavior and mindset starts to happen. Why this is happening? It started to happen in 2011. This is the graph of the generations. If you type this on Google, you can type like a graph. You are going to see a bunch of the same slide set that I'm using over here. We have the generations. And if I compare, for example, myself with my mom, with my grandmother, with my grandfather, we have a completely different mindset, a different view about how the world works. If you ask to my mom, what it is the driving during your time, while you were working, she would say to you, probably, the organization is going to define my career, not I will define my own career. The organization has the right to determine when I will get promoted, when I'm going to have a salary increase, and I work and live for the company. But if someone asks me like, do you live for Exim? Definitely no. I live for myself. Exim is just part of my pleasure. If I don't have pleasure doing what I'm doing right now, what I should do? Simple as it is. So this is the difference of the generations. In the past, who were in the market? Baby boomers were in the market. Generation X are in the market. Generation Y are in the market. But then we have the Generation Z. They are in the market now. And these guys, what they would like to, if something doesn't give pleasure to them, what they're going to do? Simply drop. For example, I have my godson that he's 1 year and 6 months, 1 year and a half years old. Not much. He knows already how to unlock my iPhone. Simple as it is. He doesn't know what he's doing, but he knows how to do that. Because he knows that what it is technology. If someone asked me that while I was a kid, I would say, I don't have idea. I used to play in the street, I used to play football, I used to play with tables, or I would probably grab something and this is going to become my toy. But then, they are completely digital natives. I consider myself a bit old school. Sometimes I tend to back off from the technology, but sometimes it's impossible. I'm over here in India. Yesterday I had to talk with the headquarters. On Monday I have a meeting with Netherlands, then I have another meeting with USA, and then Japan. But thankful for technology. So it's impossible for me to ignore. Even if I'm over here on the Generation Y, that it's called the digital natives, I don't consider myself as such. But, however, these guys are in the market. And their mindset are for controls or wait too much to do what they have to do, or they are ready to go and it doesn't matter what it takes. They are going further, they are going to do whatever it takes. And nowadays, in the market, this generation, Y and Z, they correspond together 59% of the workforce that are in the market today. Is it a low number? It's not. This is like they are the majority nowadays. So, what it is happening? Taking consideration this information, 2001, PC era, these guys, the Generation Z, they were with 6 years old, so they just don't care. They were born with the technology in their hands. Then later, ISO standards, they're going to look to my face and say, ISO what? I'm not going to ask for a top management to determine what I have to do. I will have to do what it's on my duties. If someone doesn't agree, I don't care. I need to do what I have to do. Then later, 2006, cloud computing started to become massive in the market. Is there someone that doesn't use cloud computing over here? I thought so. Everybody uses cloud computing. But keep in mind, Amazon started their cloud services or their web services only in 2006. we're talking about a company that starts to offer a service that they are in the market for their cloud service for less than 13 years. So this means that in 13 years, they become the massive company in terms of cloud computing and services, online services. Is it much time for an organization? I don't think so, but this is happening in the world. Then I2 starts to decrease the popularity, and other ISO standards also start to decrease the popularity. Why? How many years old the guys from the Generation Z had during that time? 16 years old. They are starting to enter in the workforce. So do they care about that? Definitely no. But back in time, 2001, Agile. Agile talks about what? We have some certain level of freedom. We have to adapt. We have to be flexible. We have to laugh about our fails. Definitely, this is what is related with Agile. Agile is more related with the generation, related with the past generation, with the X, with baby boomers, or more related with the Y and Z. Just taking into consideration the characteristics of people. Forget about like I work for IT or finance, whatever it comes. Definitely, Agile mindset, it's more related with Y and Z. So, is it a surprise that Agile starts to become more massive after years that was created? It's not a surprise. This is about the generation. This is about what we have to do. But, of course, despite the fact that ISO and ITO and others certifications helped a lot to build up the mentality and also the maturity level that we have nowadays. So we will never leave the credits for these guys. I would say, yes, you helped a lot, you developed a lot, not only countries, but professionals' careers, organizations, but nowadays it's time to change. We cannot be stuck in a certain time. So based on this, is there some kind of growth in terms of Agile adoption? I would say too, definitely, for more 10 years at least 10 years. This generation is going to be in the market. They are going to be the major ones. They are going to be the massive inside companies. At least for more 10 years, Agile is going to be there because this is the characteristics of the generation that is there. And then, what's happened with Agile? How Agile is influenced not only the organizations, but the generation. Structures. If I compare with the past scenario of office environment, is it the common environment today? Definitely not, because if we do not work together, probably we're not going to achieve anything. The way of thinking has changed because in the past we used to be the champion, but nowadays we say we work together. It's the successful and the failure about the team, not only about one simple person. The behavior has changed because I can go for the left, I can go to the right, I can turn, give some turns in the middle, but what matters, are you going to deliver what your customer would like to in time, in budget? So then it's fine, do whatever you have to do. I will not pay attention, I'm not going to micromanage your activities because this is too costly, consumes a lot of energy. So thanks to Agile. So then this becomes our normal environment, this becomes our normal life. This is simply like some headquarters that it's nowadays the normal thing. And then of course, in the past, I give this presentation, I use exactly this slide, and then someone asked me like back, like, okay, but you are from Xing. Xing is also using this kind of environments? Yes, definitely. I tried to use like one of the pictures, but I couldn't like copy and paste because it was protected. But later I can show to you on my mobile like pictures from the headquarters. Our headquarters, something like this. I can enjoy with a kitchen, with a coffee all the time, despite the fact that I don't like too much of the Dutch coffee, but it's fine. But then one interesting thing just start to happen inside the market because Agile, Scrum, or other practices and methodologies, I would prefer to use the word practice instead of methodology because methodology for me is too heavy. And I think Agile, Scrum, and related practices, they're not so, it's not supposed to be like a heavy. So I use practice. So you can understand whatever you would like to, but well, for me it's practice. So the Agile practice starts to expand itself because it started with the IT heavily, But then nowadays, even for example, the Dutch government, they are using Agile. Surprised me a lot, to be really honest. But they are using, but not only for IT, because when I heard about it, I said, well, okay, this is about IT. Using in the IT, being the guys saying, okay, let's go, let's go, let's go. But no, definitely their finance department start to use. And not only finance, nowadays even HRs, marketing departments, other parts of the organizations, they are embracing Agile. They are embracing Scrum or other Agile practice. They are capable for a Lean, whatever it is. So the current status of Agile, even based on the customers that I visit in different countries, based mainly in Europe, a lot of different departments, they are using Agile. They just don't care. They started with IT or non-IT. They simply just using because they are getting value from that. They are being able to speed up their daily activities. And then there is also some new kids on the block that is supporting also this. That was presented in a lot of massive conferences over there in Europe, USA, and also in South America. That is a DevOps that probably you heard about, and also Verison, that is the service management for the digital age. Because nowadays, how many of you is embracing or facing the digital transformation inside your own company? I think everybody is struggling sometimes with that. And then it was created not in a framework, but an approach to support organizations to embrace the digital transformation and to support this journey from the beginning to the end by using what they call management mesh. That is a mesh of different frameworks and practices, such as Agile, that is basically the star of the approach, to bring other practices together towards the digital transformation. So even other approaches, they are popping up in the market every single day. Not only this, because this is only 2 examples to you, but there is all the time like new certifications, new programs that I'm seeing in the market that is being raised up to guarantee that you guys are going to be ready to face the digital transformation by using the Agile practices that are available in the market. And then this graph I took from the Deloitte report, that it's a massive report that is being done yearly. And then this is the past one, the last version, about what are the required skills for the professionals that are in the market today, and for those that are going to be in the market in about more 5-10 years. And these are the main skills. Technological savviness, that this is something that I think, oh, our generation's pretty well developed. Then about user experience design, for you to have an idea how this is really important. In the past, we used to ignore a bit this, but nowadays this is massively important. My grandmother, she is about 90 years old, and she is living over there in Brazil. And which kind of app she learned to use just to talk with me? WhatsApp. She talked to me via video. She talked to me via voice. She can type, that's fine, but at least she can see me. Because it's easy. It is. Basically, just press the button. But thank God to Wi-Fi, internet connection, and then a user experience design. And nowadays, if you try to develop something not focused on the experience of the user, for those that are going to use, probably it is not going to be successful at all. And how many startups we have nowadays in the market? It's impossible to count. Every single day we have like more startups growing up. And then Agile structure. Wow, guys, Agile. Something that was created in 2001. Nowadays finally recognizes as a main skills, that it's like the skills that can get you hired inside companies. And entrepreneurial spirit. Again, let's go back for the generations graph. Generation Y and Z, they are driven by this because they only will do what gives pleasure. And this is related a lot with the entrepreneurial spirit, because if they are able to create, if they have the freedom to go further, they will do. If you cut this, what's going to happen? You're going to lose half of your workforce. And now the world is shifting completely for the digital world. So what this means in terms of you as a professional or employee inside an organization. Nowadays, matters if you are delivering products or services? No, because in the end, everything is going to be a service. Yesterday, we were talking about AI. We are talking about how the robots, they're going to support us in our daily basis. This comes to stay. It's impossible to ignore that this is going to happen. And even nowadays, I see legal offices using artificial intelligence just to guarantee that they're going to analyze a lot of cases as much as possible, and then the lawyer is going to decide which kind of approach they're going to use in terms of the defense. It's about to use the technology. In the end, it's about the service. And if you say, okay, I'm going to buy a product from Amazon.com, that's fine, you can do it. But in the end, it's going to be a service, because if they do not deliver, if they don't track, if they do not provide you an experience, you are not going to buy back. Doesn't matter the price. So in the end, it's about a service. So you can argue as much as you can with me, I'm a software developer, or I'm developing code. In the end, you are doing a service. So nowadays, it doesn't matter, products or services, we are doing services. And then everything should be as fast as it can, according with the customer requirement. But I think this is not new. Nowadays, this comes from even 17 years before, providing a good experience without have a good experience, customer experience or user experience, whatever is the name that you would like to call, it's going to be impossible to be in the market and to become competitive, and without bureaucracy, but keeping the quality. So this means that the ISO era, it's not being so much important anymore. However, I've been in Delft over there in Netherlands because we are reviewing the ISO standard related with the service management, and they are trying to go for Agile. They are trying as much as they can to understand how they can embrace Agile. But it's quite complicated. So now, my last considerations. What if I have to compare before and after organizations, what's going on with the organization's makeover? Before, we had the segregation between products and services. Nowadays, everything is about service. Before, teams, groups working in silos, island. Nowadays, everybody's working together based on team members, about leadership, about developing the skills and using skills together. In the past, internal knowledge, it was the most important thing. Basically, it's the attitude of, we know everything. We know what our customer would like to. Why to talk with customer? Well, maybe I'm paying for the service. Maybe I have some kind of requirements. And today it's about their experience. In the past, organizations was using a lot of legacy of the infrastructure, past infrastructure, old-fashioned technology. Nowadays, if you'd like to have a server, is it possible to have in less than 10 minutes a new one with more gigabytes or more speed or whatever it is? Yes, thanks to cloud computing. You can have whatever you'd like to. Why to buy servers if you can rent it? And then different sets of practice by using individually. Like one part of the IT use ITIL, other use CMMI, other use PMI, another use Agile. And guys, come on, why not use everything together and make sense of that and reduce the bureaucracy of the company, because the cost is going to be high. So then nowadays, organizations are creating what they call their own mesh, the management mesh by using what makes sense to them, reducing the cost. And then they are changing the behavior towards the change, because in the past, if we would say, we need to change the company, we need to change the process, we need to change the behavior, people would be a bit more afraid. But nowadays, the change is seen as an opportunity to grow together with the company. So, is there a turning back? Definitely not. It's impossible. We need to move forward, and we need to go further for the digital transformation to improve our process and customers. So, thank you very much for your attention. If you have questions, I will be over there. So then, with Namrata. And then before I go, Namrata have an important announcement to you. Thanks to all of you.